Hello again, everyone. Michael here with Felicity. November 8033 Foxtrot, a Cessna flight training device that I built at home. Hope everyone's had a good Tuesday. It is the 7th of February 2023. Earlier today, as with most of our unscheduled flights, I was trying to figure out what we were going to do this evening. And I had after we flew last night, I had debated on flying with the Pilot Club for their weekly GA event. It's a good group to fly with. But with the headwinds and the route today, that would have been about a 3-hour flight for me, and we just didn't have that sort of time this evening, unfortunately. So I was kind of contemplating what we were gonna do, and figured we would venture back into the Pilot Edge world after we've completed our CAT and I ratings on the Pilot Edge network. I heard about these alphabet challenges, ABC challenges that they provide for you. I don't know a whole lot about them. I really just kind of learned about them, but Pilot Edge is a paid service, and I am paying for this service, so let's go and use the service. I believe that I have everything still pulled up here. Okay. So this is essentially kind of, once you get through your ratings, they offer these various challenges to you. WestJet, hello. Welcome, my friend. Hope you've had a good day. And they looks like they cover different areas of the Pilot Edge coverage. There's a lot of different flights, a lot of legs in some of these things, and like I said, we're in Oregon right now, and I just picked one randomly. We were in Alaska yesterday, so we're kind of sticking with the bush theme this evening. And speaking of Alaska, we are going to have to go back there at some point and continue our trip. But if we take a look here at what Pilot Edge is providing us, Oregon Bush Edition, they were kind enough to provide X-plane scenery. Full disclosure, and I am full well aware of this, and I assume any sort of problems. The scenery is designed for X-plane 11. We are using it in X-plane 12. I don't know if it's been tested in X-plane 12, but we're gonna see how it goes. None of the airports gave me any sort of scenery conflicts or anything when I installed them. So we should be good to go. Other than some old forest definitions, I don't think we're gonna possibly run into any too many issues with the Pilot Edge scenery that they provided us for these trips here. But we're gonna do this flight number 1, Aubrey Mountain Airstrip to, I don't know if that's Backachers Ranch, 99.9 nautical miles. Looks like this one's been completed by 31 pilots. I'm assuming that's what that means. What is this flight info? Let's click on flight info and see what happens. WestJet, sorry you haven't been feeling well. Hopefully you get better soon. My day was decent. Thank you for asking. Details. What does this do for us? Flight information. Okay. Well, how about that? Kind of gives you some information right off the bat about airports. Field elevation are, wow, they kind of new craft all of this for me right there. KW for life, hello my friend, welcome. New craft, as I kind of been talking about recently, is an acronym that stands for NOTAMs Weather, Known ATC Delays, Runways, Available Alternates, Fuel Requirements, and Takeoff and Landing Performance. So they kind of provide some information right here. They provide runway information, field elevation, Okay, looks like they provide an expediting way to fill out your flight plan. We're going to do this VFR. Um, as much VFR as we can, given our weather. I am using winds, pressure, temperature. I raised our cloud levels a little bit and increased our visibility for our flight today, so that we can do this VFR. At most, I will probably grab flight following from. It's likely going to be Seattle Center once we get up in the air. Because to be honest, none of these airports are controlled at all. None of them are going to have any sort of IFR approach. I highly doubt it. I highly doubt our Bush airport that we're going to, Backachers Ranch, private airstrip's going to have any sort of ILS approach. Procedure, no known procedures. So let's take a quick look here. We are at Aubrey Mountain. Identifier 13 Oscar Romeo. And our destination, should we make it, 5 Oscar Romeo 0, Backachers Ranch. Let's see, we do have GPS on board, but what do we have that we could work with VOR wise? We have this Roseburg VOR, a little bit southwest of our departure. We have this Rogue Valley VOR. So we could use those as some nav points. I did not take the time to sit down and do a full VFR nav log of this flight this evening. I'm kind of briefing it right now with you. So if we take a look, 100 nautical miles. Altitudes, what do we have here? 6,200-ish, 9,500, 6,500. So we could probably get away with 8,500 with cruise altitude. What's directly below us? Hill Creek Reservoir. What sort of runway information do we have where we are? Is a south departure available? Can we use that reservoir as a checkpoint? Let's see. 1, 2, and 3, 0. I mean, that's close enough. It's kind of southeasterly. So if we were to take runway 12, if that cooperates with our winds, we could use that Hills Creek Reservoir as a checkpoint. And if I kind of plot that there, and what is that? About 3 miles out. So that would be a decent first checkpoint. And then, I mean, if we had the time, let's see, can we just follow rivers down? Let's see. Alright, so that's a river, that's a road. Okay, so that river goes east, we need to head southwest. Alright, so we could follow. Oops. And that would be about 13 miles to that intersection. So let's just do this. since this isn't for a real world flight purpose, I'm not going to worry about having to print out a nav log and giving my checkpoints friendly names. So I'm just going to drop pins here. We're going to add this to my route. And then from there, I suppose I could pick up this road and follow that west. Let me take it. See that that's only gonna work so far. We're probably just gonna end up going direct. We'll probably take off, climb out, see what type of terrain we're dealing with, and see if we can't just go direct, grab flight following, or request traffic advisories, and hope that we can find our destination. Speaking of, let's go ahead and talk about our destination while we're here. Private airport, runway 0220, so essentially north-south runway, 3,000 feet long, 100 feet wide grass, field elevation 1,460 feet. 3,000 feet long, so we've got plenty of runway for our aircraft. We're going to be using our Peterson Katmai 182 for our flight this evening. Alright, well I think we've got enough to at least get in the aircraft and get started. We may need to grab some more information along the way, like the VFR frequencies. So I'll see you over at the aircraft in just a moment. We will get her fired up and get our oil temperature warmed up and get going. It's a little bit of a walk directly that way. Alright, I'll see you there. let's see. First things first, we need to do our walk around. And before we do our walk around, let's go ahead and make sure that we have fuel. So we'll go into our weight and balance here and check our fuel. Let's go ahead and add fuel to both wings. About 205 pounds of fuel in each wing, which is what? That's not right. Yeah, it is. 34 gallons in each wing. Okay. So yeah, the Cat9 does hold quite a bit more fuel than your typical 182. Alright, so let's see here. Although it could just be a bad calculation on my end in PlaneMaker, which is always a possibility. Nevertheless, you and I on board with our gear gives us a gross takeoff weight 2,918 pounds, max takeoff 3,100. So climb is going to be a little bit possibly finicky depending on what our DA might be. Yeah, that looks good. Apply those changes. Now let's do our walk around. Looking at the big picture, no problems with the tires, no signs of oil leaks, landing gear, wheels aren't flat or anything like that. Baggage door is secure. Left rudder cable is tight. Right rudder cable is tight. Elevator is free and correct. Our VFR antenna is intact. You know what? I need to reach out. I need to find out. I'm sure I know somebody that knows how to write a plugin. There might even be one available. I just want to be able to select a specific view, like, you know, right rudder cable, and be able to maybe hit shift in a certain number or a certain letter combination and just move all around them as opposed to trying to do it all with the keyboard. Okay, moving right along. Right tire looks good. Aileron is good. We'll just go ahead and say that all of our heim joints and all of our pins and collar pins are all in place. Let's get our lights on so we can check those along with our pitot heat. Got a right strobe, green on the right. Right canard elevator is good. Exhaust is secure. Alternator belt's tight. Left canard elevator is working. Taxi and landing light are both on and working. Got red on the left with a strobe. Okay. Move right along here. our pitot tube is warm to the touch. Okay. Alright, let's get all of these loads off so we don't drain our battery. And then while we're up here, we are checking our fuel caps and making sure they are installed and in a streamlined position. And they are. And this is why we got our fuel beforehand, so that we can include this in our pre-flight. X camera recommended by WestJet. I'll have to check that out. M. Stein, welcome, my friend. Love how reality. And you are correct. Rep has a great walk around. Limited to your main monitor index. Which, for me, I keep everything on my right monitor, including rep. The rep, package. I can move that, the kneeboard, to any of these displays. But the rep walk around will only occur on the main monitor index. Unfortunately for me, to make the front the main monitor index for rep, that puts my navigation window way up there outside of the cabin, to where I'd have to look way up like I look for traffic 5,000 feet in the air, which, I do have that visual. We're not limited to what you see here. The visual is outside of the cabin for that purpose. Okay. Alright, where were we at here? Walk around was good, and fuel caps were on, and should be good to go there. We've got our checklist here. Okay. So we've got a village or town of Oak Ridge just to the west of the airport. Looks like there's another airport available just to the west of the airport. I am unfamiliar with the area. I don't know what sort of options we have if our stove decides to stop cooking and we're 500 feet AGL. Looks like there might be a railroad track there. Looks like we got a road available. Type of weather, I didn't think so. Closest weather station is probably, what is this over here? Hobby Field, 77 Sierra. We are not going to be able to get that on the ground from where we're sitting right now. Alright, I'm going to have to check out X camera then. Because that would be ideal. And then that would kind of, be able to expedite my walk around. Boom, boom, boom. Be able to just, call everything out as we move around it, instead of having to constantly try and manipulate the view. I am definitely going to have to look into that. maybe somebody would be kind enough to drop a link to X camera in the X-Plane software in the Discord hangar. Alright, let's get started up here. Passenger brief. Well, you've been kind of hearing it. Just please keep your seatbelt on, fastened throughout the duration of the flight. Our walk around was good. Hobbs is in up currently. Not gonna worry about that. Circuit breakers. WestJet, thank you. Appreciate it. I'll have to check that out. Alternate static is in. Okay. Move right along to our start checklist. Seat track. We are scooted up here. Alright. Avionics are off. Our autopilot's off. Carpet. Let's get that back off, which I left on last night. Prop is high. Mixtures for rich. Throttle slate. Let's go. 4 in the primer. Wind tank, hello. Welcome. Thank you as well. X camera is very versatile. Alright, I'm gonna have to check that out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, primer's in and locked. Okay. Alright, clear prop. Hi. You ready? Wanna come fly? Okay. I can move my flight bag. Yes. If you want, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. Sometimes it can be a pain, but usually due to operator error. And full disclosure, that is generally the problem in most cases. So, give me just a second. We're making room for a passenger. Guess we'll have to get you some pink ones. Alright. Radio check, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hi, I can hear you.
Okay, great. Everyone, my first officer has joined the flight.
Hi.
Alright, here we are. So your flight control is in op currently.
Okay, that's probably a good idea currently.
Okay.
I'll pay attention.
Alright.
Plus, I can't reach the pedals.
Okay. Alright, let's get started up here. Seat track. I am scooted up.
Me too.
Okay, avionics are off. Autopilot is off. Carpet is off. Where was I at? We already did this. Clear prop.
That's where you were at.
Okay. Yep, looks clear on the left. We do have a gentleman over off to the right, over there by the windsock, but he's off over that way. We are clear on our far right here. Okay. Master's going on. Beacon going on. And the mags to start. Okay, oil pressure's in the green. Let's give it a couple minutes for our oil temperature to come up here. We were looking at the weather.
That's exciting.
How about that? That almost works out in our favor. So it looks like 190-ish at 4. 10 visibility. Scattered 3700, broken 4400, overcast 7500. Which for us is irrelevant. I've raised those layers up. Temperature 8, dew point 8. It's an excellent recipe for moisture. Altimeter 3039. We're to set 3039 right now. Does that come close to our field elevation? This gives us right at 1,720. Yes, that can't be right. Or wait. Wrong place. $1,680. Okay, so that was right. And destination was what? 5 Oscar Romeo 0. And Epstein says pressure's on for a good flight. That is correct. We got precious cargo on board now. So winds are out of 180. So that does favor our southerly departure preference. Where were we at on our checklist here?
After the prop.
Yep, we are after the prop. We are started up. Our lights are on. Let's see, landing light on for safety. Temperature is in the green now. Okay, my seatbelt's on.
My seatbelt's on.
Flaps are up. Avionics going on. It is well, so we did get our weather. We set our altimeter, which this is 1680. So let me go ahead and set to field elevation, which we weren't far off from that other altimeter setting. Okay. Got our altimeter set. Where else were we at here? Transponder on. Squawking mode Charlie. ADS-B is tied to our nav lights. Let's turn those on. Radio. Let's test our radio. Let's see. 123.45. And then let's get 123.45 on COM2. Radio test. 1, 2, oh. That's because we have not connected to the Pilot Edge network yet.
Connected to Pilot Edge.
WestJet asks if there's a butt kicker in the right seat as well. Yes. Yes, there is.
Try to kick my butt.
So I'm sure she feels the aircraft too.
Yeah. It's there.
Okay, let's try this. Radio test. Radio test. This time kind of a little overmodulated. Radio test. A little bit better there. Okay. Radio test is good. Okay. So that weather information is from the west. Winds are coming 190. So relatively accurate. In my real world flying, my airport does not have a METAR station. So if the winds are coming out of the west, generally I will use the closest reporting station to the west from me, which is Marion, and then do the same if the winds are from the east. If winds are coming from the east, then I'll use Mansfield's weather information, because generally that's the way the trend is traveling. Alright, heading indicator to compass. Let's do that so we know that we are actually going the correct direction. Alright, I think we're ready to do our run-up. We're not going to do it here with that gentleman over there. Let's see here. What's local Unicom here? Is it even going to say anything? Flight service is on 122.55. Speaking of flight service, let's go ahead and do our flight plan. Give me just a second as I get us signed in to Pilot Edge. gonna have to re-enable that overlay. Let me go ahead and do that real quick. Shall be right back.
Okay, I'll be here.
Alright. Let's go back into Pilot Center here and file a flight plan. We're going to be type VFR today. Aircraft registration November 8033 Foxtrot. Type 182. Slant Golf. We're going to file slant golf just in case. True airspeed, I figure we'll go 130, maybe. Departure location was what? Again, 13 Oscar Romeo, 5 Oscar Romeo 0. Then 5 Oscar Romeo 0. Cruising altitude, what did we decide? 8,500 feet or so? Was that what we talked about?
Missed that part.
I think that's what we said.
Okay.
8,500. And then we might end up going lower. Interesting. Alright. We'll have to take care of that later. So apparently somehow my performance data got lost for this aircraft. That's fine. That's good enough for now. So we decided 8,500 feet was going to be our cruise altitude.
Yep, sure did.
Route of flight. We're we'll just say we'll use the VORs. We'll do that. And the other one was Rogue Valley, OE Oscar Echo Delta. Move this over there. Right, there's our route. We'll try that. Okay. We're just gonna say custom weather. I wonder what happens if I click that. What is a Sky 1 rating? Never heard of that one. I might have to check on that. I don't even know if that's something I'd be allowed to do. I've never even heard of that one. Melvin Leroy, hello my friend. Yes, we've got the first officer on board this evening. Remarks, we're just going to go ahead and say ABC challenge. Thank you. We're using custom weather. Flight plan is filed. Alright, so I think we're ready to go. Nothing specifies otherwise. I don't have another published AFD or anything. So I'm just going to assume Unicom 122.8. I do want to get Seattle Center's frequency, and let's try this one here. What does this one tell me? Does this give me Seattle Center? Cascade approach, Cascade departure, Seattle Center. Monday through Sunday, 7:30 Zulu to 1400 Zulu. Flight service is 24 hours. I don't know if flight service can actually provide VFR flight following though. Well, let's just figure it out in the air. We've sat down here long enough. She's being very patient.
I'm good at that sometimes.
122.8 Unicom. I think. Yeah, we don't see any ICOs around. And where are we at? We're at Aubrey Mountain.
Aubrey Mountain traffic, November 8033 Foxtrot, taxiing runway 12, Aubrey Mountain. And windsock, looks like we got about 3-6, about a 9-knot crosswind there. Parking brake off. Alright, so this does appear to be the runway threshold. And it does appear to have some older forest definitions in it as well, and that's to be expected, but that's alright. Okay, not much of a run-up area, so let's just make sure we're off of the runway. We are. We'll spin around, make sure we're clear. Okay. Right, brakes are on. Fuel is on both. Trim is set for takeoff. Flight controls down on the right, up on the left, down on the left, up on the right. Elevator and rudder both free and correct. Okay. Instruments, nothing on the annunciator panel. Oil temperature has come up. Oil pressure's in the green. Everything looks good. Alright, primer is in and locked. Make sure it's in for best power. 1700, here we go. Brakes are on. $1,700. Left mag, there's our drop. Right mag, there's our drop. Cycle the prop. 1, 2, 3. Right. Oil pressure drop, manifold pressure rose, tells me that the governor inside of the prop is working properly. Carb heat out. There's a drop. Right, and throttle friction feels good. Let's go ahead and idle back. Everything was in the green. Run-up checklist is good. Let's go ahead and get going. Remember, we are in our Peterson Katmai, so we do have a stall kit on here. So some of our attitudes may be a bit more unusual than might be used to. Alright, we got a short field here. So let's go ahead and spin back around. And we're going to use all of our available runway. So these threshold markers here, I'm gonna put my right main wheel and there it is. Alright, so let's spin around here. Okay. Alright, here's how we're gonna do this. And make sure our seatbelt's tight.
What's all that mean?
Now, if I say brace for impact, I need you to push the door open and make sure that your seatbelt's fastened. In fact, I'm gonna check it right now. We need to crack the door, that way in case we do take an impact, our airframe does not mangle us in here.
Oh, okay.
Yep, part of securing the aircraft on the way down.
Okay, thanks.
Hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, me too.
Great.
Never imagined I'd get squished.
You'll be fine.
Vacuum
Flaps 10.
sealed.
We got flaps 10? Alright, we got flaps 10. Alright, and here we go. Let's go. Brakes are on. I'm gonna apply full power. I'm gonna wait for it to build. And there she is. Let's go. Brakes off. We're ready to maintain center. Put some wind correction in for that roll. Airspeed's coming alive. There's the brake. Climb out, baby. Climb out, climb out, climb out. There we go.
The tree was really
But did you die?
close. Not yet.
Alright, we'll go ahead and get these flaps out of here now. Let's make sure our speed's good enough, and it is. Let's pull these flaps out. Alright, and here's our first checkpoint. We've got that Hills Creek Reservoir. Need a heading of 210 to get to our first VOR. I'm hoping some of these clouds clear up. And let's get our synthetic vision on just in case. Heading 210 towards our first VOR. Let's go. $8,500 feet is our target cruise altitude. I do want to thank everyone for coming in and flying our first alphabet challenge this evening. Everyone. I have some water if you want some. quality time is right. I've got the time and she's got the quality.
You're so cute.
Alright, let's double check our heading indicator. The compass looks good there. And it looks like our first VOR does have DME, so we've got 46.2 miles. We're in Oregon,
Oh yeah.
somewhere in Oregon.
Okay.
It's just not been the best weather-wise for the West Coast between last night and today. Not been the best weather-wise for flying. For real world GA flying. Even simulated live weather flying. But it looks like we're almost maybe through the first cloud layer, kind of might be in between them, so we may be getting a break here. Alright, current altitude 7,400, we're looking for 8,500. Eight thousand. And 8,500. Let's level off here and see how this looks. Those front canards really do kind of make this a finger flying aircraft. It does not take much input at all. Alright, we need a heading of 220. We need to maintain that heading. Alright, let's see if we can grab a Seattle Center. Maybe. One 127.55. Alright, where are we approximately? 36 miles. East of the Roseburg VOR. Roseburg VOR. Northeast.
Somewhere in Oregon in an airplane.
Yeah. Roseburg VOR. Alright, we'll try 127550, we'll try it. Seattle Center, November 8033 Foxtrot.
Number 8033 Foxtrot, Seattle Center going.
Good day, we're a Type 182 slant Gulf, 33 miles northeast of the Roseburg VOR, and currently 8,500, direct to 5 Oscar Romeo 0, looking for VFR flight following.
November 8033 Foxtrot, squawk 6357.
6357, November 8033 Foxtrot.
Cruiser Foxtrot, radar contact 60 miles north of Rogue Valley, and change to my frequency 121.4.
121.4, November 8033 Foxtrot. Seattle Center, November 8033 Foxtrot.
Number 8033 Foxtrot, Seattle Center, roger.
Sounds a lot clearer now. We might have been a little bit farther away from that station than I thought. my compass? 21. Am I just really not holding heading that well? Is it really that windy?
Yeah, sure.
It could very well be. Seemed like we were getting blown off course there quite a bit.
No, we end up in a lake of unknown origin.
Cricket 767, contact Albuquerque Center 134.32.
Albuquerque Center, good evening, American 767, 190, climbing 210.
Cricket 767, Albuquerque, climb and maintain flight level 320.
Up to flight level 320, American 767.
How was the rest of your work day?
Well, you know, I made it out alive.
It's always a plus.
Consider it so.
Alright, 27.4 DME from the Roseburg VOR. I do want to thank everyone for coming in and hanging out this evening. Can't say that enough, but I appreciate flying with you all. So we do have a cloud layer above us, several thousand feet, but it is there. Alright, what's our next VOR? That's gonna be the Rogue Valley, OEV, Oscar Echo Delta. And that is 113.6. Let's get that on standby. Actually, let's go ahead and get that on active on COM 2, because I've got Roseburg, or I'm sorry, nav 2. I've got Roseburg on nav 1. What I want to do is confirm that our station is active, and that it is our station, using the audio. So we can tell by the 3 longs, 1 short, 1 long, 2 shorts. We can positively identify that station as Rogue Valley, 113.6.
FedEx 3650 heavy, contact NorCal approach 119.2. NorCal approach 119.2, FedEx 3650 heavy.
gonna switch Roseburg back over into nav2 now because that's my
FedEx 36
DME.
at the heavy at clock, cleared ILS, runway 16 right approach, expect runway 16 left.
I mean, I guess I have DME in the GPS, but nav2 is tied to my DME radio.
Affirmative.
Ground speed right now, about 80, indicating 100. Definitely got a lot of headwind as we head out southwest here. I'll lean us out just a bit. Any questions?
Why is you twisted that thing?
Huh?
Why was you twisted that thing?
So it's called a vernier control. There's two adjustments. I can push the button and move it in and out very coarsely.
What does it do? What does it do?
This one is the fuel mixture,
Oh.
and this one is the pitch of the propeller. But by twisting it, you're making a fine adjustment.
Why is that important?
You don't want to cut all your fuel out at once.
Why would you start like that?
Well, the higher you get, the more denser your air becomes. So the better that the fuel atomizes. So in order to keep the engine from running rich, you need to reduce the amount of fuel that's being provided based on the oxygen it's receiving.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because if your engine quits while you're in the air, it's a little bit more, can sometimes be a bit more problematic than if the engine quits, you're on the ground.
Yeah. Like sharks.
So, it's I'm sure they're a lot more experienced pilots. They can do a course adjustment or then do a finer adjustment as they get to know their aircraft.
You don't know your aircraft? How long have you been flying this plane?
This exact plane,
Yes, like 6 months now.
100.3 hours on this aircraft model.
Oh, okay, like 6 months now.
But,
That's 6 months.
huh?
That's 6 months.
6 months? That was-
Yeah, 100.3 hours. That's 6 months.
Well, that's just for basically how long the engine's been running.
Oh, okay.
100.3 hours on this engine, so on this aircraft.
Okay. Like 100 first day? You don't know your aircraft? Come on now.
Yep, I think we're going to have to get you a unit set of headphones. I think that microphone is going out. That was my first set of headphones, so it's very old. It's like-
Maybe
It's an old Telex headset. So I think the microphone's going out. Sorry. Alright, 15.5 miles
767, contact LA Center 124.62.
from our
Flight 462, we'll see you at
DME, or from our POR. I pulled the prop back a little bit. We picked up some ground speed, so we're making 120 along the ground now, indicating 140-ish. This is my VOR. This is how I'm following the radio station.
Oh,
It's basically like a waypoint.
oh. Like in Moana when they use the stars.
Sort of, yep. Pretty much, it's a way of navigating. So the radio, it emits a signal in 360 degrees. Imagine 360 lines coming away from the radio.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So you can pick a line, follow it directly there. Like right now the line we're on is like a 238 degree line.
Okay.
But the closer you get to it, the harder it is to track.
That's weird. What's the one below it?
This one here
Yeah.
does the same thing, only it's tied to this radio.
Oh.
This one is tied to this radio. This one is tied to this radio. This one is, I've never used this ADF before in my life. I've never been taught on it. It's a antiquated way of navigating. So I could get a, like an in-op sticker and put over it.
Okay. Shiny and lights up. Just don't look at it.
Right, right. I think I might replace it with a flap indicator. John Smitty, hello. Welcome. My first officer is on board. My very patient girlfriend.
I'm patient. This is good.
I know, right? I made it funny.
Yeah, yeah. I got patience sometimes.
7.3 DME from our first VOR checkpoint.
That VME thing you're saying.
Distance measuring equipment.
Oh, DME.
Yep,
Oh,
DME,
okay.
as opposed to saying like miles.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
Yep. I hope she's having a good time.
Yeah, having a good time. Yes.
M9, have a great night, my friend. You take care. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Always a pleasure. I'm gonna switch my other VOR back. So now I'm tuned into the Rogue, what is that, Rogue Valley? Rogue Valley VOR down here. So to get to that VOR, I would need to fly a heading of about 140. So let's just head there now, 140. asking great questions, by the way.
They're just the things I don't remember from the last time you showed me.
This is our carbon monoxide detector.
I read that. Very excited about that.
Okay, good, good.
So just to be sure, that should never turn a different color, right?
Right. A dark spot would be bad.
FedEx 36 at the contact Reno Tower.
.148 degrees. That's where it wants us to fly.
FedEx 36 should the heavy Reno Tower, runway 17 off to clear to land.
See this road out here in the mountains, it kind of looks a little sketchy, but
Yeah.
I'm not up close to it, so it might not be as bad as I think.
It does appear to be that way, John, right now, albeit I'm talking to Seattle Center, which is one of their outlying areas. So and this is actually my first time in airspace other than ZLA, other than pilot edge ZLA. Let me rephrase. This is my first time in pilot edge airspace other than ZLA. So, yeah, I'm not too sure how busy I expected it or quiet I expected it to be. But you are correct, it does seem to be a little bit quiet this evening. This wind's kind of pushing us all over the place, it seems.
Well, don't let it. I don't want to end up, in a random canyon.
John, I find myself having a hard time answering that question because, like I said, this is the first time. Now, if we were in the Los Angeles airspace,
FedEx 36 at the heavy cross runway 17 left.
it's generally pretty busy
Cross runway 17 right and contact ground.
on pilot edge, but for their outlying coverage areas, I honestly don't know. This is my first time talking to their outlying service area. In LA, I feel like it's fairly busy. It's not overly busy. Like it's a good mix of GA and jet traffic.
636 with the heavy, Reno ground, November, Alpha to park and cross runway 8.
But for me, John, personally, it is a paid service. For me, I felt like it was worth it. It's been worth it thus far, just for the training and information I've received through going through those ratings. That sort of airspace complexity isn't around where I live, so I've never really studied it. And probably never would have. So for me, it was worth it's worth the. For me, it's worth it. But yeah, they both have their pros and they have their cons, both one versus the other as far as Pilot Edge and VATSIM. Although the only con that I've come across so far, and it's not a con, you get what you pay for. It's an extremely professional ATC service. All of the frequencies are true to life. There were a lot of, I'll say, VATSIM isms that I had to kind of overcome when I came to fly on Pilot Edge.
Jet 634 on request, standby.
I think that learning the airspace and going through the ratings definitely helped me become not just a better virtual pilot, but a better, real-world student pilot, and eventually pilot as well.
Jet 634, Grand Junction ground, clear to Albuquerque Airport by the Noxie 1 departure. Radar vectors to... Sorry, it's going to actually be the Roan 2 departure, Tessie transition, direct Rattlesnake VOR, that's Romeo Sierra Kilo, direct Rosie, Romeo Oscar Sierra Echo India,
L-shaped body of water there.
Logo 3 arrival.
That's right there.
Find the SID, accept
Just wanted to make sure we're kind of on the right, because there's us.
Departure frequency
So I wanted to make sure we're on the right
path. 2636.
That's what brought me to Pilot Edge, John. Was EAA sim venture, and it was just a fun time for me.
Jet 634, read back correct.
I took advantage of the free trial and did that. And then I just continued to use it. Alright, 18.8 DME from our next VOR, so we're not too terribly far from our final destination, I wouldn't imagine. What? Final destination?
Yeah.
Haha. I think so. It's been a while since
It's 634.
Isn't there like 10 of them or something?
Yeah, I changed my mind. Roan 2 departure, Grand Junction transition, direct Rattlesnake, the rest of the clearance ranges.
I haven't actually seen all of them, or one of them. I just only see bits and pieces.
I'm having to fly a 140 to maintain a 150 heading.
33 Foxtrot, contact Cascade approach 124.3.
Cascade approach 124.3, November 33 Foxtrot. Cascade approach, November 8033 Foxtrot, 8,500 feet.
Number 8033 Foxtrot, Cascade approach, the Medford altimeter 3040.
040, November 33 Foxtrot.
Grand Junction ground, Executive 634 is West Star Aviation, ready to taxi.
Jet 634 ground runway 3, correction runway 29er, taxi via Alpha, hold short runway 22.
29er via Alpha, hold short at 22 for 634.
Alright, so from Rogue Valley, VOR, we're going to fly a heading of, what is that, 240 for about 30 nautical miles. And that'll get us close to our destination. And then we're going to have to find it visually.
Nautical miles, same as air miles. 70 in the air, nautical miles.
Nautical miles, yes. It's a little bit different than an average car mile or road mile.
Grand Junction Tower, Executive 634 on Alpha, short of 22 for 29, ready to go.
Executive 634, Grand Junction Tower, cross runway 22, runway 29er, clear for takeoff.
Cross runway 2229, clear for takeoff, Executive 634.
Alright, we're 5.5 DME from our next VOR. So we're going to need a heading of 240. about 2.5 miles north. Alright, let's make the turn.
Jet 634, contact departure.
Lift the
Departure
right,
634, we'll see ya.
lift the right wing, looks clear. Make the turn heading 240.
Departure, good evening. Jet 634, 7,500, climbing 14,000 on the road 2.
Jet 634, Denver departure, radar contact.
We said that was about how far? About 30 miles or so.
Yeah, you said
Alright. So we'll watch our DME as we track outbound. Thought that's what was happening. Sun was setting right in our eyes there. Alright, so just kind of a heads up, the airport that we're going to, I've never been there before, don't know where it's at, don't know what it looks like, don't know anything, don't know anything about it, but we're gonna find it.
you love adventures.
I do know that
Jet
it's
634, contact Denver Center, 1, 2,
3,000 feet long with a north-south
7.02.
runway.
Jet 634, Denver Center, climb maintain flight level 410.
Alright, situational awareness. Let's take a look at our cruise checklist. Throttle, prop, mixture, looks good there. Instruments, nothing on our annunciator panel. It's starting to get a bit cold, -5 degrees Celsius. But our oil temperature still looks good, good fuel flow, good manifold pressure. We can just keep our altitude under control. We're going up and down, up and down, up and down. 9 DME out from Rogue Valley. And our airport was approximately 30 nautical miles from Rogue Valley. So we're almost there. From what I can tell. Almost, well, we're almost to the area.
Okay.
We still need to find it. One of these days I'm gonna try flying from the right side.
Yeah, see how that works out for you.
It's different. It's a different perspective. Melvin, thanks for coming in, my friend. Sleep well. Have a great night. For those who don't know Melvin Leroy's channel, go ahead and check him out. He does a lot of great stuff with bush flying, a lot of great stuff with just aviation in general, everything from props to jets. Always fun to watch. Great guy. That's you.
Forgot if it went up or down or if it went way up.
It goes up, down, forward, backward.
It's a little harder to go up and down though.
Alright, 16.2 DME out. So what do we got, about 15 miles left?
Yep,
Roughly.
Unless you're going to the wrong airport. Just kidding.
We'll probably cancel our flight following here shortly. unless he doesn't cancel it for us. Alright, let's see here, the road, looks like there's a road we can probably follow now to get us towards where we need to go. Alright, there's a river. That's not gonna help us. That's the wrong river. Alright, looks like we're over the road.
Can't see a road. How do you know?
Kind of see it down there.
No. Looks like a mountain.
It's very wee road in between the mountain. Plus you can kind of see it on the map right there.
Oh, okay. You're talking about that line that might not actually be a road. It could just be a really
Yeah.
well
Yep.
done trail.
Yep, that one.
Oh, what about? Okay.
Cascade approach, November 8033 Foxtrot. Request you cancel my VFR flight following this evening.
335, should I for cancel the correction? Radar services terminated, squawk VFR frequency change approved.
VFR frequency change approved, November 33 Foxtrot, thank you. Alright, let's get down there. What's our field elevation? 1460. We are at 7,500. Need to lose 6,000 feet. Alright, we got, looks like maybe power lines. Maybe around here somewhere.
Did you just say the power line should be around here somewhere?
Yeah, it looks like there might be a power line around here somewhere
Oh,
that we need to watch out for. Alright, let's find a river. Let's look for a river. There's gonna be a river that we're gonna use as a landmark. So based on this, we should be coming up to a river straight ahead at some point. Unless it's on the other side of that mountain, to which case, then we're on the wrong side. I think we'll be alright. I think we're fine.
so you don't run into that power line.
Yeah, as long as we don't hit that power line. Let's turn our carpet on for a descent. Mixture to rich, prop to full, powers all the way back. looks like Backachers to me. Backachers. Backachers.
Yeah, sure. That's logical.
Right?
Yeah.
So north-south runway. So we can almost overfly it, right? Backacres Ranch traffic, November 8033 Foxtrot is about 3 miles east. Going to be overflying the field at pattern altitude for inspection. Backacres.
33 Foxtrot, you're still in.
Sure am. I tuned it, I forgot to swap it. Backacres traffic, November 8033 Foxtrot is 2 miles to the east, going to be overflying the field for inspection. Backacres. Alright. Field 1460. 0 patterns 1500. Pattern 2500. We're 3000 now. See if we can find this airport. I don't even want to call it an airport. I keep calling it. It's a grass strip.
Way to be confusing. There's a field. Not a very long one. There it is.
Yep, that's it right there. Good call. Alright, how are we gonna get down in there to locate full? Okay. Watch our airspeed. Okay. So we're gonna cross back over and we will join the downwind runway. Let's see, 20. No, 020 southbound. Alright, pattern's gonna be 2500. Car feet is still on. Everything's looking good. That's kind of an interesting one. Alright, I don't like this, so tell you what. We're gonna have to approach this a different way.
We have enough gas.
Yeah, with these trees and mountain, we just wouldn't have been able to get down in there. So we're gonna go out and turn around and follow the valley back down in. Backacres traffic, November 8033 Foxtrot. Now 2 miles to the north, going to be making a straight in final approach, runway 18, Backacres. Much better. Carpeet's on. We're in the white arc, let's go flaps 10. Prepare for that bubble up, let's watch these trees here. Okay, we're just a little bit high now, so let's just slip it in there. Okay, let's correct that, main flaps 2. Full flaps. I don't know. Going around. Backacres traffic, November 8033 Foxtrot, going around Backacres. Not that we really have to here, but what I like to do on the go around is sidestep the runway just in case we do have landing traffic behind us. Okay, let's make our right crosswind. Backacres traffic, November 33 Foxtrot, right crosswind, Backacres. Pattern altitude. Roll right into our downwind because we don't want to get too far out of this valley. I call it a valley, whatever you want to call it, a valley, whatever it is.
In between 2 mountains.
Yep, I think in between the 2 mountains, that's right. Alright, we'll try this approach again. There's the road. Backacres traffic, November 33 Foxtrot, turning right base, runway 20 Backacres. Gonna roll right into it. Watch that airspeed. That's what happened. We had a weather change come in. I was like, what happened with my aircraft performance? Alright. Let's try this again. We're a bit more slower now. Okay, give me flaps 10. Tell you what, give me flaps 20. And flaps 30. Down to that runway. What's that say in the yellow over there?
Ladder.
means it was an exceptional landing. Backacres range traffic, November 8033 Foxtrot is cleared runway. Backacres. Alright, well here we are. We made it. Well, we completed leg 1 of the Oregon section of the alphabet challenges on Pilot Edge. Yeah, because now that I've got all the ratings completed on Pilot Edge, may as well use some of their other services. Alright, we're outstanding. Here we are. Let's go ahead and secure our aircraft. After we get... Okay, no, we're not on the runway. WestJet, thank you. Alright. Flaps going up. Avionics going off. All of our lights are going off. G5 off. Make sure to lean. Maxed off and mastered off. That is all the time that we have for this evening, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you back over in the FBO for just a couple moments to debrief this flight. Then we'll, my girlfriend and I are going to go grab a bite to eat and go to bed. So. Alright. Bye. Alright.
Disconnected.
Well, that was fun. I'm glad that my girlfriend was able to fly with me for a bit. Again, just like last night, the weather is, we had some clouds, just not the best for true, really good VFR flying. Ideally we could have been a little bit lower, kind of maneuver through some of the valleys a little bit more, but just the clouds, they just weren't in our favor today. Even as it was started, looks like it started transitioning to VFR now, but when we departed, it was marginal at best, and even still around the area, it's low IFR and IFR. So, and again, ideally, I would be able to just download the real world weather into X-Plane 12, and then switch it over to customize, get rid of the cloud layers, and keep everything else and have it work. But for some reason, I go through and I download my real world weather, then I switch it over to manually, and I delete my cloud layers, and I hit apply, and it doesn't work. It keeps reverting back to that previous weather. So I don't know if that's just a bug or if there's something else I need to change. I'll have to read up or watch a video tutorial on X-Plane 12 weather settings, I'm sure. But it was a fun flight. We pretty much went direct from, where were we at? Aubrey Mountain Airstrip. We used that reservoir as a checkpoint. We more or less tracked the VOR. Yeah, seems like last night when I was flying with the Bush League, the weather was not good either. Well, we were just more or less direct from VOR to VOR, using the Roseburg VOR first, and then the what was this one? Rogue Valley VOR. And then we were able to follow this road along until we found Backachers Ranch, which took us a couple of approaches to stick that one. Alright, but that was a fun flight. Let's see if we can jump back over here, and they have, let's see, what is this here? Where am I looking at here? They have all these different challenges, all these different legs in these different airspaces, ZLA airspace. So since I've got no qualms in saying this, but since I'm paying for this service, I'm gonna start using the service a little bit more. Granted, I paid for it, to get through all the ratings, but I'm gonna retain it because I think it's just I think it's great. That's the only thing I can say. I think it's great. But if we go here, and we just did leg 1 from Aubrey Mountain Airstrip to Backachers Ranch, and there's all these different legs here, and that's just one section of their ABC challenges. But this is just one small part of the entire virtual X-Plane world. Downwindsim.com does great stuff with bush flying, and there's so many of those events that I need to go back and finish up. But yeah, one thing at a time, one flight at a time. So, I do want to thank you all for let's see if we can do this from here. Submit flight. Paste the PE aware URL of your alphabet. Okay, so let's go back here to home. Okay, that's not what I want. I want PE aware. And then I want, what do I want? Call sign search. November 8033 Foxtrot. See if this works. Aubrey Mountain. What did it say it needed here? Sorry to keep bouncing back and forth. Paste the PE URL of your alphabet challenge flight here. Okay, so I imagine I would need to click on the flight itself. No. Okay, I think this is what I need right here. Right, how did I get there? What did I click on? Alright, I clicked on the call sign. Is this what I need? Yeah, looks like this will work. Skylane, Aubrey Mountain, Backachers Ranch, route. Cool. It actually shows the map. It's the first time I'm actually checking out PE Aware. Yep, there's my altitude. Up and down, up and down, up and down. Man, we were just all over the place, it seemed. Okay. Oh, wow. Ground speed. Alright, that's interesting. Okay, so my altitude wasn't nearly as bad as I thought. The blue line is the altitude. That orange squiggly line is our ground speed. So... and our ground elevation is the red. It's funny, our ground speed almost kind of profiles the ground elevation. That's pretty neat. What is this? Position reports. Oh, wow. So, alright, so this provides some decent information. This is PE Aware from the Pilot Edge. Alright, well, let's see, copy this. Copy link. Right, and then I go back here, and then I paste this. And submit that. Huh. Alright. I'll check back on that in a couple of days and see what happens. Alright, I want to see, now that I see this, let me see something here. I want to see if Corona, yeah, is this it? Yeah, this one's it. Was this the DME arc? Let's see if it'll show it. No. What was the I-10? It was the I-10, wasn't it? I was curious to see if it logged the DME arc I flew when I did the I-10. Alright, and it's neither here nor there. I've got a log of that one. Alright, well that's it for this evening. Again, I do want to thank you all for coming in, hanging out. Glad that first officer was able to fly for a little bit. Glad you all were able to hang out for a little bit. It's always fun. It's always more fun when it's more than one. and you all make that happen. WestJet, always a pleasure. And again, thanks for what you do with your moderation and just being here and coming in and hanging out. DreamNed, I'm sorry, you sure did. We just landed at Backachers Ranch in Oregon. We did the Pilot Edge Alphabet Challenge. We did their Oregon. We did one of their alphabet challenges out of the Oregon Bush Edition. We did that first leg from Aubrey Mountain to Backachers Ranch. It was fun. It was fun. And then, alright, so I think that's it for the night. Probably won't be doing any more flying until Friday this week. DreamNet, haven't. Check it out, DreamNet. It's that they have, and it's not just they have all these different sections. But what I found really neat is that they provided the scenery for X-Plane to do these challenges in, so I didn't have to go hunting for scenery for some of these smaller airfields and grass strips. They provided all the scenery to do that from their webpage. So yeah, I thought so. So let's see. Let me just pull this back up here real quick. So they have Arizona, Colorado, Oregon, Washington, Western U.S., and ZLA edition. So many different scenario-based flights. Alright. Let's see who we can send you over to for the rest of your evening. Again, I want to thank you all for coming in. Man. I got no one. Oh, well. Tell you what, I got one option that just popped on. Well, it just showed up for me. He may have been on for a little bit. But I'll send you over to BW Flight Simulation. It looks like, from what I can tell, he's doing ATC this evening, Oakland Center, and VATSIM. So I'll send you over there for the rest of your evening. But again, I do want to thank you all for coming in tonight and flying. Until our next one, take care and stay safe, and we'll see you later.